Hi everyone, and welcome to my second Love Winter art video. I'm going to be using this Stampin' Up! Kit. I've had it, probably 2 or 3 years. One of my goals this year, I joined, if you've watched any of my other videos, was a no-buy group. It's really made me look at my supplies in a different way. For example, in this kit, on the cover picture, I think it had 1 4x6 on one page and maybe 2 on another. But you'll see that I cut my photos to get more on the page. I didn't have to stick with exactly what they suggested. So here I'm just punching out all the little die cuts. I am going to change, you'll see me point to the numbers. They suggested using it for Christmas. Well, we don't always have snow on Christmas. And even if we do, we're not always dressed up enough to take those lovely photos they showed. So what I did is I'm going to do it about the snow just around our house. So I'm going to use our house number. And here you're seeing me cut the photos. The tan piece of paper you're not going to see. I'm just going to use it for stability for these photos that I cut. And to make sure I get them in the appropriate size proportions. We have metal awnings on our home. They've been there, as far as I know, since the home was built. And I don't like the way they look from the outside of the home, but I will say my parents live about 10 houses down the street, and our home is always about, I'd say 5 to 7 degrees cooler than theirs when we don't have the air on. But in the winter, those metal awnings make the nicest icicles, and I got one there for my photo. I don't usually use ribbon on my layouts, but I did like the look that it gave for this, this kit, so I gave it a go. You'll see me struggle later with my bow tying. I'm going to just get it glued down. I used my tape runner, and I used my mat as a guide for keeping it straight, so you can see I had to adjust it. I love having that gridded mat because otherwise things like that for me would never be straight. I know some people have that eye that can just get it straight the first time. I am not one of those people. So just gluing the back down. That way it doesn't come up. I never cut it flush with the edge because ribbon tends to lift or it will fray. So now for the left-hand side of the page, I'm just going to start gluing the elements down. I use a combination of the ATG and the small tape runner, depending on the size of the element. I didn't know if these snowflakes were self-adhesive or not, so you see me playing around with that. I find out they are not. So on some of them I used Pop Dots. Those particular ones that I used were Stampin' Up! I believe later in the video that I do use a different brand. It's the Hobby Lobby brand. They are 2 different heights, and I like that. That's why I have them both, so that I can do different dimensions. There I have my Zig pen. I've had both the roller pen and the chunkier tip pen on these Zig glue pens. I haven't found them to work well, either of them. The roller ball or the, like felty tip. So I'd love to hear what you guys use for those really fine elements. I do have a fine line bottle, but these are so fine that even that would put enough glue on there that it would seep out the edges. So tell me what you use for that. Here I'm going to get started on the right-hand side. Going to attempt to line these up so that when they go in my album, they look, very similar. I realized about halfway through that I should have put that original ticket stub on the left-hand side down further. But I didn't want to I guess I could have gotten my undo out and redid it all, but I just wanted to get this done. I got this layout done in about 30 minutes. And that is the one thing that I like about kits. And sometimes I feel like they limit my creativity because I look at them and go, oh, I have to do it that way, but sometimes it's really nice just to be able to sit down and get a layout done. I did include some photos of our son. He loves the winter as much as his mom. It is my favorite time of year. I would much rather put another sweater on than have to figure out how to get cooler. And snow has to be one of my all-time favorite things. Everybody tells me that's because my husband shovels. You saw on the left-hand side of the page that there was a photo of our cleared driveway. I actually happen to do that. I don't mind doing the shoveling. This year I will get out of it due to being, let's see, when it starts snowing here, I'll probably be 6.5, 7 months pregnant. Definitely not going to be heaving snow, and even the snow blower would be too heavy for me to move from row to row. So I will get out of it this year, but it's not something I particularly mind. So here I'm just gluing those snowflakes down on the other side. I did use the clothespins on this layout. If you've watched some of my, I think, what month was it? It was the last My Creative Scrapbook, or the time before. It came with some clothespins, and I said I never know what to do because they make it so bulky. I managed to use them this time. Liked the way it came out. Just tying my bow for the journaling tag. I waited to do some of the I would say finer embellishing. It's the only thing I can think to say. Till the end, so I didn't have so many pieces on my desk. No matter how much I try, I never seem to have enough room on my desk. Doesn't matter if there's one thing on the desk or 8 things. There just never seems to be enough room. So I think this year I'm going to work on not limiting the tools that I use, but limiting the ones that I keep on my desk on a full-time basis. I have 3 things of tools. Yep, see, I lost the ribbon. Not the ribbon, the twine. It was somewhere on my desk. I'm thinking, did I drop it on the floor? I eventually found it. I don't know where it was. But I have 3 buckets of tools on my desk. I have the rotating rack from Hobby Lobby. I have a cup filled with pens. Someone in a swap gave me a lovely Paris. It looks like a book, but it's empty on the top, and you can use that for tools. And I really need to pare down what's on my desk. I have a holder for my iPad so that if I'm using a sketch or, a challenge online, I can do that. So that's my goal this year, is pare those down. If you have any suggestions on how you store your tools, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, I think I'm finishing up here. I think I just need to put that last little tag on. I'll show you some close-ups at the end, and I appreciate you watching our hashtag series. And I'll catch you next time later. Next time, goodbye guys, later.